Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to do a little bit of the PlayStation 5 Pro in review. Now, as you guys probably know, it's been about like a little bit over a month so far, and there's been a lot of good and a lot of bad when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. So I've got to go and sit here on Christmas. So once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you guys go and celebrate, and hope you guys all have a fantastic day. And I kind of wanted to go and sit here and kind of give my honest-to-God thoughts when it comes to the console itself. Now, there is, like I said, some good and some bad. I myself own one, and I will be honest with you guys, at least on my very initial thoughts, I am happy with my console. If I had to go give it like a really quick, like you just clicked on the video, you want to get straight to the point, I'd probably give it like a nice 7.3 out of 10 though, and there is a few critiques I have with it. But that doesn't mean that if you guys, number one, don't already have a PlayStation, it's probably a actually better option to go pick the Pro over a normal baseline PS5. If you guys are really rich, like you have a well-paying job, or maybe just, just don't mind spending money, you play a lot of PlayStation games, whatever, might go and bump up their rating a little bit more. And as well, if you're someone who is just pretty chill, pretty laid back, casual gamer, a dad who comes home and plays maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, if even that, then a PlayStation 5 still will be okay. But overall, there are still a few critiques, and I will say, this review actually might go and change up over time. A lot of various big issues which we're going to address in this video, such as the shimmering issue, as well as also just kind of like some of the things such as the disk drive issues, do kind of lower the overall vibe of the console as of right now. But if it was all fixed, it'd probably be a little bit higher. And as well as it will get fixed in the next coming months, and as there is more of a reason to get the PS5 Pro, I do think it'll stack over time and time. So think of more so in the future, if everything is and does get sorted, it'll probably bump up to like an 8 or so, or maybe even more worthwhile console. So we're going to go talk about that and give my thoughts and opinions and everything down below. If you guys have gotten yours yourselves, please give me your thoughts, or if you guys are not going to get one, give me your thoughts down below. Even if you think they're a hot take, I don't mind. And of course, as well, subscribe if you guys want to. We're going to probably be doing the rolling over here really soon for the Christmas giveaway, probably as of like today or some point. I'm recording this at the Christmas Eve, so I can actually be with my family itself. So get your last minute subscriptions on in. And of course, the second YouTube account, the Twitters and Twitches, and all the affiliate links down below if you guys want to pick up your own console. And let's go and dive on into it. So I have a little bit of a list over here you might see me glancing on over. And I just have my big high levels over here, which first and foremost, I do want to start off with something good. Let's go say some nice things. So as of last night, we actually had a chance to go make a video on this if you guys want to check it out, showing that there is going to be certain games such as Monster Hunter Wilds. And this will probably actually be something that will make the console itself a little bit more worthwhile. Because don't forget, it just came out, and usually we don't go and judge it on when it first comes out as of like the day one of it, although it's a little bit weird with a Pro console because it is mid-generation. But there is also a little bit of a future proof, and this is more of the positive reason of why I think the PS5 Pro so far is kind of a nice buy. There are certain games that are going to be using a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay that will be utilizing the PS5 Pro. Now, there is going to be also future PlayStation games which will be utilizing the PS5 Pro, the PSSR technology, and all of that, which I think is a very nice addition to the console itself. So this is one nice big bonus perk. Any game that will be involved in the future, like all the PlayStation showcases or all those state of plays, they will most likely, especially if they're PlayStation or being showcased at these conferences, like a big PlayStation game, will most likely have a Pro alternative. They'll have a Pro upgrade, utilize the PSSR, and all these initial issues we see so far initially with like shimmering, which we'll get to in a second, and all these weird buggy AI things will ideally be all fixed, because I'm sure PlayStation will not want to let that be happening on a huge game like Monster Hunter Wilds, which will be selling millions of copies, or other future games such as PlayStation Studios games, such as the Intergalactic game that had a lot of big press, the Wolverine game, and any other various future games such as the Ghost of Ukai, whatever it might be called. I kind of forgot the name of it. Basically the sequel of Ghost of Tsushima, and those are just only the confirmed games we know as of right this second. Those games are going to be looking phenomenal, and I think if they do launch very well, that'll bump up my review/rating of the PS5 Pro at least pretty substantially, because those are like kind of PlayStation's bread and butter. Right now, we're only getting the PS5 Pro for old technology such as Spider-Man 2 or Horizon Forbidden West, which has already either come out on PC or as well already just in generality. So that's a big thing to kind of go and note, that future proof, that'll be very nice to go and have and go and see. And as well, I like having the gameplay looking good. I like the future proof that if I'm spending $700, I want my games to be looking nice. So I will go and say, as of right this second, you can probably get by with PC or PS5, but future-proofing games, especially if you have the money for, or enjoyment on the PlayStation Studios, I think the PS5 Pro will bump up a little bit more. Now, as well as I kind of mentioned on top of this, though, is we did have a lot of shimmering issues. So this is one of those things where if it gets fixed, this will be a good vibe. If it does not get fixed, well, then life's going to be really rough. So a good example, if you guys have not had a chance to see it over here, is I'm over here just like using some YouTube references. It's like you kind of look at the walls and you look at this and you see how it's like looking like it's almost raining on the inside as you guys maybe look around throughout the lighting. There was a lot of issues with that. Now, we have had a lot of these comments addressed and discussed over here when it comes to the shimmering issues. So thankfully it will probably get fixed. And once again, for PlayStation games, this will most likely not be an issue, but we still have to bring this on up. If you're playing a game, this is noticeable. We brought this up on many various games, and companies like Silent Hill and EA and all of them have addressed that they are working on it. So right now it's in this awkward limbo, because if they can fix it and they can learn how to fine tune this technology, then life is a vibe. But if they, for some odd reason, cannot go and fix this, and there's other future games out there that do not get fixed, then life is going to go and suck for PS5 Pro owners. Because if it's fixed and working well, that'll make every future game great, which is why I'm saying PlayStation Studios games, which has already proven that these are good vibes, such as the fact of, like, say, the Horizon Forbidden West looking great, and other various baseline games looking good, such as Spider-Man, etc. But these third parties are still having issues as well. This is once again even a video I showcased up to you on the PlayStation 5 for Black Ops. So basically, like, if this gets fixed, it'll bump up the overall review, but still a lot of these companies have not fully adjusted it as of right this second. And that kind of sucks too, because that kind of leads us to towards our next major point. Having your PSSR working well will be good. Once it is working, we'll see in 6 months, but right now that's why the review is like a 7. Like, it's not the best, not the worst. I have faith in them, so that's why I'm doing it. Some people may want to wait for it to get fixed, or future games that come out, because why would you want to buy and play other games? I kind of cover that pretty well. But one thing to note is also the price point. And on two ends too, is that number one, that they still have never really fixed up the PS5 disc drives. If you guys want to play any physical copies, you need to have these on the Pro. It is a digital-only console. Some people are okay with digital-only consoles. I personally am okay with that. Not a big deal. But one kind of big thing to go and note is, well, you have to spend the money for it. So I'm okay with it. Like, you have a bigger hard drive, that's nice, that's good, and I'm usually a digital downloader. But I do have physical discs, or sometimes even as a YouTuber, I get physical copies, same with Twitch as well. So if you are a physical owner, this will probably bring down your score points. You still do not have these easily accessible. It is still a big issue. And at the end of the day, like, you don't want to spend $130 from a scalper plus shipping and tax. It'll be $150 just to play disc editions. This will also kind of bring down the overall review score. A lot of people judged it, and I do agree. Now, if this was once again fixed and you can easily buy it on the PlayStation Store for $80, still expensive, but at least it's accessible, then that also once again would probably raise up the review, which once again, you give it like another 6 months or a year, it probably will be sorted. But still, at this current moment, which people are buying it still at this current moment, I still recommend it. I've still liked my Pro, but at the same exact time, it's just still has a lot of issues. There's problems with it, there's issues with it, we're struggling with it, and at the end of the day, it's just like not the best. I don't know. And as well, on top of this too, when it comes to all this stuff, the console itself was $700. $700 is not a vibe. It's very expensive. It's worth it. I enjoy the PSSR technology, but once again, we've even seen some companies such as Fortnite not even go and even want to utilize it. So there is still a little skepticism on it. But once again, if you're focused on the PlayStation Studios and the PlayStation style, please go and be aware of that. Like, it'll be good for that, but bad if you're on these third-party titles, unless they can go and fix it. I do think Monster Hunter Wilds will probably be the best, I guess, probably game to look at. If they can make it work well and make the game run better and performance issues are not going to be there and there's no shimmering, as we mentioned, then life will be very, very good. And at the same time, there's other various big AAA games, such as like Kingdoms Come Deliverance, which will be a very taxing game, or as well any other various good, like open-worldly type style games that are going to have a lot of environments going on. So if you're spending $700, some people may even want to consider getting a PC instead. Now, I'm a big PC guy myself, but at the same time, you do get a good value because a lot of games are specifically made for things like the Pro, and as well, like, once again, PlayStation exclusives. So that is another nice little side like overall balance for it to go work out well. So once again, if you do not have a PS5 already, I'd probably say get the Pro. It's probably worth getting. If you're someone who has a PS5, it's okay to stick on that. If you have a nice PC and you don't mind waiting a year, and I've mentioned this on prior videos, maybe then at that point go and sit and go and just wait the year or two to go get your game itself as a whole, which I think is a okay, good vibe. But at the same time, the console itself is a little bit on the expensive side, plus with all the accessories that are going to maybe drive it up to like $850, and you can probably get a pretty good comparable PC at around $1,200 range or so. Now, I'm a big PlayStation guy, as evidenced by my YouTube channel, sale. So I personally do not mind when it comes to having a console like this. I will spend the money for it. And I also have the somewhat disposable income to go and throw on there. But at the same time, if you want to have a good value, something like a PlayStation 5 for $375, which I have linked down below, is probably a better alternative because it will stay good. They're going to optimize games and make games for that regardless. And I do think at the end of the day, that is still an all right decision. I think that's 100% fine to go and settle for that. And as well, some people might be considering the PS6 and the PS5 Pro is almost like a test of the console itself as a whole. So at the end of the day, if you don't mind having a console for 2-3 years, you have a normal job and have the disposable income, single or whatever, big gamer, it's fine to get the PS5 Pro. I do think like a 7.3 is pretty decent, but it is still on the niche side. But if you are someone out there who is maybe on the younger side, maybe you don't have enough disposable income, not a big gamer, already have a PC, it's okay to stick with your PS5 and just roll it on out, or as well even maybe just wait the year or two for games to come on PC, or even wait for the PlayStation 6. I do think there's a few more critiques on it, but I think those are the high levels of it, and I do think the include like better GPU is still very nice. It is a nice improvement, which is why I'm saying if you don't have a PS5 already, there you go and make the leap for the Pro. I feel like we probably wait a year or two, we might have some of these deals for like $600 or so, or selling the console with a disk drive, and I would probably almost 8.5 out of 10 recommend that, because at that point a $600 Pro probably would be worth it at the end of the day. But until then, we're still have to settle with the $700. I still think it's a nice console. I hope if you guys got one for Christmas, you'll enjoy it, but at the same time, just don't be aware it is still a niche console at the end of the day. Make sure you guys are subscribed and give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below. We have all the just overall affiliate links if you just want to pick up your own consoles, the Pro, PS5s on sales, and as well also make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for the PS5 Pro giveaway. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.